Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Nate.
Yo!
And Lisa.
Happy almost Cyber Monday.
Gobble, gobble.
Get those deals.
How was y'all's Thanksgiving? It's,
Fantastic.
It's good.
Good.
It was really good.
Turkey-tastic.
I tried to explain to my family. So they asked about the podcast.
Well, I was just trying. I ate as much turkey as I could as just revenge against having to watch Thanksgiving. So I was like just stabbing it
Take
a lot
turkey.
more than normal. It was really like, I hate
really
you for
make
making me
sure.
watch this.
Did you say the satanic quote backward or whatever the hell you had to do?
Yeah.
Is that how you cooked your turkey? Did you put it cooked it on a bonfire?
Yeah, then it became radioactive. Then I killed it again, and then I ate it. So
well, radioactive turkey is
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It was very spicy. Other than that, it was great.
Yeah, so I tried to tell my family about, they were asking about the podcast, they were asking about some of the movies, and I tried to tell them about Thanksgiving, and
We have never gotten stranger looks.
One of them literally looked at me and said, "Do you hear the words coming out of your mouth?" As I'm explaining the best scenes of Thanksgiving.
It was a Thanksgiving rush hour quote. Do you hear the words coming out of your mouth?
And I think I was sort of, how you're talking, describing something, and you start like kind of acting it out subconsciously. Yeah. I think I was doing that.
You acted out the rape scene.
Not quite that,
okay,
but other scenes. But that's besides the point. So, well, welcome back from Thanksgiving. So we're going to go back to our what was our usual schedule and go through some news.
First eyewitness account came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. First eyewitness account came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent.
Remix!
I thought that was going to get stuck too.
DJ Mitch coming to you live right now. You know we gotta go, but here's the main man coming up. It's my soul.
Oh, you can't cut that.
All right.
You can't cut it.
No,
you can't.
Shit, now I have to leave it. So, clearly haven't hit the news button in a while, so didn't have that changed in my settings. So the leading story is I have forgotten to check everything before we start the show. Woo! Okay, so Lisa, you have some news you want to get started.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this, and I haven't seen it because haven't watched Stranger Things season 2, and I'm worried there's spoilers. But apparently Sesame Street did a parody, and they're in the snack side down instead of the upside down. So that sounds fantastic. So as soon as I watch season 2, I'm going to watch this parody.
Sesame Street does anything, you're golden.
Yeah. Sesame Street did a Game of Thrones parody that was fantastic.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, have you not seen this?
No, I haven't
It's
seen it.
When we're done
fantastic.
recording, we have to watch it.
It's great.
It was great.
So my question for you guys, so Sesame Street does this for some stuff. What are y'all's take on horror stuff that has been kidified? And because we talked about this in a previous episode. You guys, or at least Mitch did, watch the actual Tales from the Crypt. Mm-hmm. I watched the cartoon Tales from the Crypt because I could get on Saturday morning cartoons and it wasn't as bad. So what are y'all's take on that?
So when you say kidified, do you mean like making something explicitly for kids, or are you talking about just like dumbing something down for kids?
I'm saying taking something that is really scary and making it a little bit less scary so the kids can watch it too. Because I think that's what Tales from the Crypt was. It was the same sort of stories, but it wasn't going to give me more family friendly. Yeah, no cursing, not as much violence, but it still had a spooky aspect to it.
I'm good with it. I mean, look, as a kid, I enjoyed horror stuff. I mean, when you do sleepovers and you all tell scary stories at night and try to spook everyone else out, that's a lot of fun. Having those shows was always good. I mean, they're tame. That I know some people kind of freak out about stuff a little bit more than I think they did when we were kids, but I'm I like them. I'm fine with it. What I don't like is when they take a movie and they strip out everything scary because someone please think of the children, and then it's just garbage at that point. But crafting something for kids is cool.
Yeah, I'm all for it. A lot of kids, like Pixar movies and stuff, have done a good job, like having like Up or something. Like,
yeah,
an adult can watch it, like a kid can watch it. It totally works. I wish there was more like horror things like that. Like if they could really. Yeah. Although there was that Coco movie that just came out.
Yeah,
it's like literally Day of the Dead stuff going on.
It is, but I don't think
another.
It's classified. I mean, I don't think there's...
No, it's not. I'm just saying, I'm wondering if maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Work the horror stuff into like the Pixar-y type of stuff.
Yeah, no, I hadn't
there's
thought
also
about
like
that.
Frankenweenie. There's stuff like
that's
that.
True.
Like Tim Burton.
There's stuff out
that
there.
Kind of Corpse Bride.
The David S. Pumpkins Halloween special.
Well, I mean, the Nightmare Before Christmas-y kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right? That's
exactly.
kind of like a nice, that kind of stuff I like. So
yeah, it's got a little bit of creepiness to it, but kids can still watch it. Yeah.
No, keeps Hot Topic in business.
Keeps hot.
Yeah, right?
That's won't someone think of the Hot Topic? Is really they need a lot of help, I assume. I don't know how they make money. Yeah. Okay, segue. My thing, my news item was going to be so the screenwriter for the It movie and for I believe the other thing they did this year was the Annabelle Creation movie. They're going forward with an Are You Afraid of the Dark movie. It's going to be done by the person who wrote both the It and Annabelle Creation screenplay.
So how are they going to do it? Because Are You Afraid of the Dark was all those mini stories. Are they going to do it kind of like Trick or Treat where they have different stories interwoven, I wonder?
I don't know if they're that far down the road. I think it's more just like, all right, we got this guy. We're doing this.
That sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. But that's cool. So, bringing back the kids thing, right? So I'm hoping that, this would be, and hopefully walk that line between
that sounds cool.
Being cool and good and also being...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, what's a PG-13, like, was Final Destination PG-13 when that came out?
No,
Is that still R?
It was too violent, I think.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
I mean, the good news is that all the ghosts kind of movies and everything, there's a lot of times there's a less reliance on gore, which helps them get into the PG-13 area. Whereas most of the slasher films, they have to kind of stay at R.
Or, I mean, you could be so good of a slasher film that you go to PG, like Tourist Trap. So, I mean, either way you look at it.
Mitch, what's your news story?
The remake of Tourist Trap. God, please make that be it. That would be amazing.
No.
It needs a remake. Like, most people are like, hey, it's such a classic, leave it alone. Like, this movie's like, no, just remake this.
Just get the Kickstarter going. I'm sure you can get someone to help pitch in. I mean, if Thanksgiving can be made on a budget of $3,500, imagine how much we only need for... well,
I know the sequel, Thanksgiving 3, got over $115,000 on Kickstarter.
There you go.
Wow.
I don't know. I was gonna just say, I think there's now because it's done so well. Happy Death Day just made over 100 million worldwide. Horror movies are just doing better. There's been sort of a resurgence. The James Waniverse has kind of helped kickstart a lot of that.
James Waniverse.
I definitely see a lot of more projects coming up out of this, right? Especially hopefully in the kind of kids area, not to say kids area, but at least more of the family area, more the I think the stuff like It, where it's like, kids can be sort of involved in protagonists, and we can do these kind of stories without. And
Stranger Things too, right? Like the kids are coming up. It seems like which is good.
Yeah, I feel like we've and for the good. I think we've moved away from a more realistic period in horror movies, because like the late 2000s was all about. We wanted to feel real and visceral and right in your face. So it was like all the Saws were big then. Hostel, all these, gory, just mutilation type stuff. Yes. Now it's getting more going back to psychological horror, more environmental horror, more less about what's directly in front of you, more intelligent. And I think that can work for anyone, right? The gore is always the issue, and slasher films, I think too. It's always good to see those kind of.
Although all these kids banding together, all that stuff, like that all got popularized in the 80s, and of course, like all these things that are happening are still taking place in the 80s, but they're just coming out now.
Yeah, right.
They need to have like one that's now kids are hanging out.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Are You Afraid the Dark is going to be. Maybe that'll
Because
be.
no one would look at because kids wouldn't look up past their phone. Oh no, Tommy got murdered.
Hold on, let me look it up. Oh yeah, someone else got murdered here too.
You dead, son. You know, like say, just be kids filming it, like live, Facebook living it, Instagramming it and all that. Just
Hey, but you put a Snapchat filter on his dead body, it could look cute. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? So speaking of new movies that are coming out, then being that next week will be the start of all the December movies. Netflix has a few things coming out. Some of which I don't know. I look at this list. I don't know why it's on there. There's one called The Haunting of Helena, which comes out December 15th. It's after a divorce. Sophia, have you seen that, Nate?
I was wondering, is this about the capital of Montana? What's going on here?
The capital? No, I think this is a girl.
I'm out though.
It's a girl, possibly of My Chemical Romance fame. Who knows?
Oh, okay. All right, well then I'm back in. Okay, My Chemical Romance, I'm back in.
Apparently, the woman moves to Italy with her daughter Helena. Their new home, which is an apartment, is a chance for them to start a new life. But inside an old storage room hides a mysterious closet and a buried secret. After the loss of Helena's first baby tooth, a chilling obsession begins and an apparition haunts her sleep. So, again,
Was it a maniacal tooth fairy? What the?
Could be.
Poor Italy.
Isn't there a horror movie that was the Tooth Fairy, actually?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, Darkness Falls.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
Darkness
my gosh.
Falls. That was like a nice 76-minute movie too. It was great.
No. Let's see. There's going to be Bright is a new Netflix original on December 22nd. This is
This is their blockbuster movie.
Yeah,
like
it's Will Smith,
tens of millions of dollars movie.
Will Smith
like
as a human cop with a orc police officer, who I'm assuming is supposed to be sort of like the fantasy equivalent of an African American.
No, it's all
I mean, that's where they're going with it, right? Because they've already mentioned the elves. The elf is like, well, not all the elves are all good.
Yeah. You're saying there could be some allegory in this, different types of people. Hold on a second.
I know, right?
This is horror.
Horror. It's sci-fi with horror elements. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot coming out of Netflix. There's also Creep 2.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I've heard good reviews.
Feature episode Creep 2
for this one. So this about Sarah, a video artist whose primary focus is creating intimacy with lonely men. After finding an online ad for video work, she thinks she may have found the subject of her dreams. She drives to a remote house in the forest and meets a man claiming to be a serial killer. Unable to resist the chance to create a truly shocking piece of art, she agrees to spend the day with him, but discovers she may have dug herself a hole from which she cannot escape.
Moron.
Yeah, that's a very quick what I would have done differently.
Have you guys seen Creep 1?
No.
Go, watch. Or we could do back-to-back. Creep 1, Creep 2. They'll both be on Netflix.
Oh, Lord. Merry Christmas to me.
I'm the creepiest.
We need to get Derek for this.
Oh, yeah.
We
did. We're definitely putting that drop in that episode, too.
Yeah. I liked Creep a lot. I know that if I like movies, apparently everyone else hates them. So take that however you want. But I liked Creep, and Creep 2 looks really good.
Yeah. On the last one, December 1st, Dreamcatcher. 4 friends tied together through a telepathic bond they gained as children reunite as adults to fight an invading alien force that controls human beings like helpless puppets and blah, 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 blah.
That movie sucked.
Yeah, it did.
It sucked.
Wait, y'all saw that already?
Spoiler alert, that one sucks.
It's garbage. It's garbage.
So, are you interested in that one, Lisa?
No, not. I'm
garbage.
I didn't know y'all had seen it.
I mean, it's old. It's an old movie.
Oh, okay.
I saw the movie theater. Ugh, mistakes.
This list I'm looking at actually has V for Vendetta as a horror film.
Great, love it. Everyone watch V for Vendetta. I have one. So
it's a good movie, but
real quick. So any of those did any of those pique your interest?
No.
Creep 2 is great. It's going to be good.
Yeah, Creep 2.
Yeah,
I think
it looks
good.
fantastic.
I don't know about this Haunting of Helena. Something about her baby teeth falling out is what causes the spirit to come back. To be fair, I didn't read it before I brought it.
I think
I was like, you can probably, if you go back and listen, you probably hear me going, you can just hear it in my voice.
Not great. No, there's another thing coming out on Netflix in December 1st called Dark. So it's a German language. It's basically a more dark, time travel-y Stranger Things in German.
Interesting.
It looks fantastic. All the early reviews are really good.
Is it dubbed in redone in English, or is it the actual German show just brought over?
Yeah, it's German. It's Netflix produced. German
subtitles
language.
Or dubbed?
I think it's subtitled.
Okay. That's better. They didn't redo it. Is my point.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So this is original. But
they just bought the rights.
Yeah. So normally so now they're spreading out. So normally, would Netflix do a German based show? No, but now apparently they are. So it's awesome.
Nice.
But it's supposed to be really good. So once you binge watch your Stranger Things season 2, take a small break, Sesame Street, and go right into dark.
Sesame Street is a palate cleanser.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go into dark. Perfect.
So speaking of stuff I am looking forward to, we watched the trailer for one of the new episodes of Black Mirror, the one that Jodie Foster directed, Archangel.
Yeah.
It looks definitely Black Mirror-y. I feel like that's going to be a word.
Black Mirrored.
Black Mirrored. Because they have their own unique sense of twists. Yeah. So it looks good. It looks a little, just obviously there's a creep factor to it.
When it's going to come out is the main thing.
Who knows? It would be nice if it came out before the end of the year so people on Christmas break could watch it, but I don't think they've set an actual solid release date for it. So
come on.
So keep an eye on that.
Put it in my veins.
If you haven't seen any of Black Mirror, all of it is very good.
Put it in my veins. I just want it.
Yeah, because one of them is called Crocodile. That's the one that I've heard is I think is going to be the most intense from what I've heard.
I heard in an interview they said that this season was going to be a little there's going to be close, some more San Junipero, not quite as dark, just more how technology is impacting, not quite as dark always. Yeah. I'm hoping.
No, get back to being dark. Yeah, well, it was fine. You won one award. You don't have to. That's like what fucking Metallica, gets the Grammy for Black Album. It's but that's what we're gonna do now.
Yeah,
that's all you're getting.
Well, it's good to break it up, After
it's gonna be all the same type of shit, though.
We'll see.
They gotta bring in new.
Look,
viewers.
I'm not about to. No, we don't. The viewers you have are fine. Their deal with Netflix is contingent on. It's not like ABC where they have to get 8 million in ratings every week, or they get flushed.
Yeah, but if Netflix doesn't get any new subscribers out of it, they're not going to be happy.
Well, you could say that about the other 100 shows Netflix screens live.
That's what I'm saying. You could say it about any show that.
Yeah, I don't know. After Netflix is hey, you know what? We're gonna make a big blockbuster movie. It's gonna be our first one. We should cast the guy who's done a lot of great movies the last 15 years, Will Smith. Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a flop to me.
So Jodie Foster is the director for.
Yeah,
I think that's good. They're bringing new people. That's why it'll hopefully keep it fresh and more of an anthology, unless it's just one long, depressing, awesome thing, which I like. But
it's really good.
Yeah, I'm assuming they break it up, and hopefully,
I prefer. I like the depressing, Twilight Zone feel of it.
Even Twilight Zone had more upbeat episodes that were still weird, but more upbeat.
Yeah, and that's fine. You can have an upbeat episode. Don't make the whole thing. The whole thing is about how technology is going to ruin our lives. Not.
Well, no, I think it's.
But that was just the theme for last season. I think.
Well, no, it's about how technology allows our inhumanity towards others to be more easily done.
There's more to it than especially in the first couple seasons.
Well, yeah, but it's before, if you wanted to be a dick to somebody, in 1,000 years ago, you had to go up to somebody and kick them in the shin. Now it's
I feel like
my
you're still
ability
a dick
to be
to somebody
a dick.
if you go up to them and kick him in the shin.
Your ability to have them have sex with a pig.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So before you'd have to tie him up, you have to get a pig, you have to hog tie the pig. You have to put him there, and
you had to put some work into it.
Now, because of the digital technology, you can make them do it remotely.
Okay. What else you got?
Yeah,
that was it. That's all I got. I just got hog tying. That's my last thing.
Okay. Well, unfortunate news as well. We don't know when we're getting Black Mirror, and unfortunately, we also don't know when we're going to get the new Halloween. It's been delayed until January in terms of filming. So I don't know that I know why, just that unfortunately that's been kind of delayed. But if you need something to tide you over, apparently there's been a fan film that was released, Silent Hill Requiem. So if the first two movies really did nothing for you, apparently this fan film is incredible. It was I think it was crowdfunded. Reviews I've seen are pretty fantastic. Most I've seen it's a little fan servicey, but it's very true to the game, the first three games, and the overall storyline. So I think the first 13 minutes of the film are available on YouTube, and then you can go buy it or get a subscription somewhere else. I'm actually not quite sure.
Where does it fit in with the movies? Or does it?
It doesn't matter.
I don't really know. I think it's
No, I'm
kind
just
of.
curious.
I think it's sort of in. In the movies.
Like, is it after?
I don't think it. No, I think it ignores the movies.
Okay, so
I think it's
just the
sticks,
video games.
It sticks more to the first 3 games.
Okay.
That's understandable. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fine.
I mean, you'd be forgiven because no one else really saw the movies. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the plot was a little foggy to me.
yeah, sorry, Sean Bean.
Got it.
I'll give you that one. Lisa, anything else?
Yeah, one more thing that I thought was kind of funny. So apparently, when they were throwing around doing Freddy versus Jason back in the day, 2 different studios owned, like one studio owned Freddy, one studio owned Jason. So they were having to like do negotiations to try and figure out if there was going to even be possible to do that. And I can't remember who owned what. But anyway, the point is, they were like, I don't know if it's possible because we don't own both characters, so we'll have to figure it out. And so the guy pitching the idea goes, well, how about in the meantime, we do Jason versus Cheech and Chong?
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
Because he's like, we own Cheech and Chong and we own Jason, so there you go.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, yes or no, are you guys sad that they did not make Jason versus
What
Cheech
is this movie
and
called?
Chong?
Sad's a strong word.
I mean, if you give Jason in space, Jason versus Cheech and Chong would have been pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Oh man, this guy has nice friends. Holy shit!
Oh my God.
That's pretty much what it would have
What
been.
the
Yeah.
fucking head is? Yeah.
They would have tripped him up in some way without meaning to. I mean,
Okay, so Jason versus Cheech and Chong. Oh,
You can't even get through it.
I can't even.
You can't even finish that thought.
I was like, a hatchet made an earache my eye. I can't even come up with a good reference. That sounds terrible.
No.
I don't know. I think it could have been fantastic. I think it could have been better than Jason in Space.
Oh, that's true. Low bar.
I mean,
Yeah.
low. Yeah, or Thanksgiving. You're better than Thanksgiving.
Like he takes a giant
that's
split.
a super
He
low
takes
bar.
a giant spliff and then like chokes someone with it. That would be okay. I'm back in. That would be
You're back
awesome.
in.
Wow.
That's what.
Yeah, like throws it.
We
Oh.
missed out, y'all. We missed out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we are getting that is Freddy related, though. They are going to re-release the vinyl for 1987's Freddy's Greatest Hits. So they actually
what does that even mean?
So my brother and sister, I told you this. I mean, y'all know the story. They used to play all the. So they had an actual vinyl back in 1987.
Oh, my Lord.
It was by the Elm Street Group because that was the best name they could come up with. But effectively, it was a few covers. There was a song, "Do the Freddy." Was an original song.
No.
There was
Because
not.
in the 80s they all had to have dances. Yeah, no, there is. There is. There was only so there's only going to be 400 copies of this that's going to come out in January 2018.
400 too many.
Yes. Spoiler alert, your boy's getting one.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, no.
Your boy's getting one.
They're-
No.
It's a lot of the instrumentals from the songs, it's got Robert Englund doing like voiceovers over most of it. It is all the music from the Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's great.
No. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's.
And then
not
another-
much of a fan. I don't know.
And I guess my last thing to bring up, we're gonna just skip over the whole Charles Manson passing away because we haven't really talked about.
I don't care.
That, except that they did have Charles Manson is now being featured on American Horror Story Cult, or was. The show's over now.
Mercifully, it sounds like.
But they
It had its
that
moments. It has
before.
moments. Yeah, no, I know that. It was I think that the episode where he comes out was like the week before Manson died, so it's kind of weird timing. But
He's like, I finally
Evan
made
Peters.
it. I can
I'll tell you this.
Get out of here.
You should at least I know you're not going to watch the show, and you probably shouldn't.
Nope,
but
never will.
You should definitely check out Evan Peters his portrayal of
Yeah, watch that one episode because he plays about 3 different cult
as
leaders
Charles
on that
Manson.
episode.
He plays a whole bunch of different ones. He does what's his name that was in Guyana?
Yeah,
Jones.
no, we went
Jim
to see-
Jones.
Yeah.
Does Jim Jones with the whole Kool-Aid drinking
Oh,
thing?
okay, sure. Jonestown.
Yeah. Evan Peters did a hell of a job on this season. But the TV show I really kind of want to talk about was Riverdale. Have y'all watched this show at all?
No.
I've not. I've heard of it, though.
Okay. So Riverdale is the new adaptation that's kind of takes all the Archie characters and
makes them dark and brooding.
Right, as teens are wont to do.
It's a CW show, so I mean, it's literally a requirement, or else you can't get the show.
So I started watching. Yeah, right. So I started watching the show in the plane. And I was like, "There's nothing else to watch right now."
Yeah.
It's one of these shows that should be really bad. It's okay. It's actually not too bad.
One of my coworkers told me, she said it was pretty good.
Yeah. So season 2, I haven't gotten to season 2 yet, but apparently season 2 has been a lot of horror movie chiller references. So, like, in fact, each of the episode titles has been, one was called Death Proof, another was When a Stranger Calls. Next ones are Tales from the Dark Side and House of the Devil. So they're using all these major, and some indie horror films and trying to...
Thanksgiving's the next episode for Thanksgiving?
No, I don't think so. But the reason I bring this up is because on this Wednesday's episode... you are going to get a special appearance from Tony Todd as Farmer McGinty. Now, Tony Todd is the character from, he plays Candyman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's a coroner guy from Final Destination.
Yeah. So,
in case you wanted a second reference.
There you go. So, Candyman's coming. I don't know if that entices you to watch this show, but it is always kind of cool. I don't know if they're going to have any nods, kind of to the series.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Somebody looking in a mirror or something, right? And
right.
Something will happen. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's all I had.
That's all I had too.
I think so I think we're at our recommendations. So yeah. So I've got 2 actually.
Go for it.
So on Shudder, which again I love Shudder. They actually have released several kind of new ones, but specifically, if you have not seen either of these gems, you need to. There's The Howling, which is fantastic.
Yep, great.
They've just released that, and they released 3 of the Wishmasters. Specifically 1, 2, and 3.
I'm the less on that one.
Wishmaster, the first one's great. The second one, not so much. First Wishmaster's great. You don't like it.
I would have made a different wish. That's all I got to say about that.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm more of a puppet master over a wish master.
It's another Wes Craven classic.
I know, Wes Craven's hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
But
it is super gory, but there are points in it that are kind of funny.
No, I agree. Wishmaster's not so bad. Yeah,
the one scene in particular, Lisa, you'll appreciate this. One scene is
she's like, I will never watch this.
No.
This has never happened.
It's not going to be definitely not a future episode. But they have a scene where he's in prison and they don't realize he's talking to the genie or the djinn in this case.
Oh Lord.
This guy says, he's like, if I had a wish, I'd wish my lawyer would go fuck himself. Sure enough. Later on, the lawyer comes in and is like, hey, we just found out, we did a lot of digging, but we just figured out we can get your whole case overturned. They missed some evidence. All I need to do this. And then all of a sudden, his body contorts and he literally starts fucking himself. And presumably he dies, because I guess there's no reason why they couldn't still, keep going with the case. But I think presumably he loses his case.
Be careful what you wish master for, as they say. Classic phrase.
Nate, how about you? You got a recommendation?
I got 2 recommendations also. Okay. It's Christmas time is coming up. Winter time is coming up. On Amazon Prime, we have a couple good options. We have some really good options here. Jack Frost. So everyone has seen Jack Frost.
No, that's God.
The classic children's claymation movie, Jack Frost, right? Everyone loves that one.
Yeah, that's...
Once you're done with that one, put the kids to bed, and then watch the terrible slasher horror movie.
Yeah, we talked about this in length.
About a killer snowman, Jack Frost. But don't stop there. The kids usually go to sleep pretty early, right? So you might as well go for Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. All these things are on Prime.
How dare you look down your nose at my Wishmaster selection, and you're hawking Jack Frost 1, not just 1, 1 and 2.
Well, yeah,
how
the
dare you,
Snowman,
sir? Obviously. Oh God, Lisa, how about you?
No, y'all had enough. I don't got any.
You don't have any?
No.
You recommended Black Mirror. You can re-recommend Black Mirror.
Lisa says there's no Halloween's done. It's Christmas time, y'all.
Yeah.
Go see Coco. I heard it's really cute.
Yeah. Okay.
Coco. Okay.
There's no I in Jack Frost, as they say.
All right. Well, that will wrap it up for today's news episode. We'll be back Thursday with our review of The Invitation.
El Invitacion.
Oh, Jesus. Nate, where can they find us?
They can find us at our website, TexasPodcastMassacre.com, where we'll be having all of our movies. You can find links to all of our MP3s and stuff and how to stream all of our episodes. We're on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher. Leave us a review. We've been getting some reviews, which is great. And just let us know how we're doing. And that's about it.
Awesome. Well, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.